friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you our picks for the 2019-2020 school year for US geography and states and capitals. We are going to be doing this family style with my soon-to-be kindergartner, second grader, and third grader. So because the span of age group that I have is only 3-year discrepancy, we tend to do a lot of things as a group. We do our history studies, our nature studies, our science, our geography, stuff like that. We do that all together. And because there's not much of an age gap right now, because believe me, I know when they get into those higher grades, the age gap is going to matter. But for right now, it doesn't. So I'm taking full advantage of just putting them all together and letting them learn as a group. So here are some of the resources I have. I'll just tell you straight away that some of these things I won't be using as is. They're pretty much tools. I'm going to build my own type of lesson plan around these things, but I'm not going to use anything verbatim. The first thing I have here is States and Capitals set. This is a set that Memoria Press has for grades 3 to 6. This set includes the States and Capitals flashcards. Now, I really like these flashcards because they also include 34 countries and then the nation's capitals. So this is a win-win. So I was glad to find these as part of this set. The other thing the set comes with is this book. Don't know much about the 50 states. And this is basically the states and capitals, nickname, statehood, bird, flower, and just some really cool information about the states and capitals. Okay, then this comes with a student study guide and a teacher guide. So the student study guide is basically map labeling, putting in information about capital, nickname, some fun facts. So I'm basically going to be reading out of this. We're going to use some other resources, and then once in a while, and I don't know how I'm going to do it right now, but once in a while I will give this to my oldest, my third grader, to do. And see how that goes. Now, there are also tests and quizzes that go along with this curriculum, but my third grader is too young to be tested and quizzed for states and capitals, but I think it's an important resource to have. And it also comes with the teacher's guide, and this just has the answer key. I didn't notice that it had test answers in it, so because I wasn't sure how I was going to use this, I went ahead and purchased the states and capitals answer key and quiz key. So this has the quizzes and the answer key. It's just the US states and capitals. You probably don't even need this, but I like having test keys and answer keys. I just do. Let's face it, I don't want to have to think too hard. So next thing we have is the States and Capitals 1-year pace lesson plans. I saw this and I was really excited because this doesn't really tell you what to do and how to do it, like how they teach the states and capitals. So I went ahead and purchased their lesson plan because it gives you week by week breakdown of how they're learning in these books. So the states and capitals, so for page 4 to 5, for example, the first spread here, they're doing this for an entire week, and I think that's manageable for a third grader. Okay, I don't know if it's going to get harder than this, but this is manageable. This is complete the study pages 4 to 5 and then recite the 7 continents. That's week 1. Week 2, they're doing the next 2 pages. Okay, so it seems pretty easy and manageable for a third grader if you're working on something like this for an entire week. They're going to be learning about facts from the book, and we have all these other resources. So I think that's manageable. So I liked that they had this, not as part of the set. It wasn't part of a set. It was separate, but I'm glad I found this. So I think this I actually purchased off christianbook.com. The set I purchased from Memoria Press. So this whole set was Memoria Press, right? This was Christian Book, and that was Christian Book. Just to give you an idea. Okay, so moving on. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so moving on. The next thing I have here is Home Geography for Primary Grades. This is by C.C. Long. This has written and oral exercises. This goes over geographical terms. It goes over landforms and different things. And the way I'm going to be using this is as a read aloud. So we're going to read aloud from here. There are some written exercises, but we will just use those as oral discussion questions. There's also a ton of different activities that you can do. There are recipes throughout. So this will be a nice resource to have. I'm excited about that. Next up, I have this cool little Fandex. I think I purchased this from Amazon, and I'll leave the links down below if I did purchase it from like an Amazon or online marketplace. I'll leave it down below. But this is a 50 states Fandex, and it's just a cool way to look at the states. It has the same sort of information as that book. It has the nicknames, capital, motto, bird, flower, and year introduced into this to the Union, so when it became a state. So this is kind of fun, a nice little thing to have. Next I have our tried and true States and Capitals song CD. We love this CD. This is how we learn our states and capitals for the most part. The only reason I'm introducing like maps and labeling and things is because I don't want them to just have a song in their head about states and capitals and be able to find it on the map because it's labeled, but I want them to be able to label a map. I want them to be able to see a state without its capital and label the capital and vice versa. So this is great. We love this. We use this all the time, and we have our big wall maps on the wall that we use with this, and I'll actually pop up
Sacramento, California, Sacramento, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Austin, Texas.
We'll continue to use this. A couple of other books that we have for like geography and things are these two books, Maps and Globes, Geography from A to Z, a picture glossary. Again, these things go over things like what a rainforest is, a prairie, a valley, a dune, you know, an island, lagoon, things like that. These things are covered in here, and then a little bit of extra. So we'll be using those. I'm gonna put these over here. Next I have these maps, charts, and graphs workbooks. So these will be for my two older girls, and so my kindergartner, we're just focusing with him on the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. So he's not going to have a workbook for maps because even though he could technically do the maps A, he's not reading yet. So I think it's kind of a waste. He can certainly answer questions, and I bet he would get them correct if I read him the information, but I think I want him to be able to read the answer that he is giving and circling it himself. I think there's more value in that than me just giving him a book to give him a book, but then having to read everything and, you know, stuff like that. So he won't be doing this, but the girls will be. So this will be their independent work for geography. Okay, so for my kindergartner, I do have a hands-on activity for him. I purchased this shelf work activity from Teachers Pay Teachers online. It came as a bundle. It's called Learn 50 States and Capitals. I believe. So this has a bunch of different activities that you can do, but it's all hands-on, and I thought it would be perfect for him. What I did was just print out and laminate all these sheets. It has the country broken up into regions, and all he's gonna do is just find the state when we're working on the region and then just Velcro it onto the matching state. So he'll be learning, but not too intensely. And I think this will be fun hands-on activity for him to do. He'll even have his own little flashcards. I also laminated these. They came with the pack. They also have color by number. There's blank maps that you can use as well. But we're gonna keep it simple for him so he has something to do while we are learning. And I think that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing, hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload a video, and also liking and commenting on my videos. That lets me know that you like the content that I'm putting out, and I will continue to make videos. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you in the next video.